Hey, what is up guys? So we got some confirmation of some other cards coming out in Return of the Bling. Some of them you might be familiar with, and some of them are actually going to be new cards that we didn't even know were coming out into the TCG. But anyways, let's go ahead and check them out. And first, really quickly, sometimes people ask me, Azneyes, why do you upload these leaked pictures? We're going to be finding out about these, eventually anyways. Sometimes, guys, when people find out, or the closer it gets to the release date, the more expensive some of these cards get, and as well as sometimes when you're pre-ordering, your pre-order prices are always going to be cheaper majority of the time when you pre-order them earlier. But anyways, so some of these cards that you might already know, Grapha, and then we got a new card over here which is Parallel Twister, we got Rekindling, we got the Dueling Dragon, we got Neos Alias, we got Barkion over here, we have the Sylvan, I think that's Sylvan Charity, and then we have Crush card with its new errata, we have Regeki and Dark Claw. Regeki was surprisingly kind of going up in price, especially, because of the Now the Necros thing. And then we have some other cards over here that some of these cards, you might be wondering, Azneyes, what the heck are these cards? I want to know what these cards' effects are. Don't worry, I got you covered, man. So anyways, let's go ahead and check out some of these new cards. So this one is Absolute King Backjack. So what he's able to do is, during your opponent's turn, you can banish this card from your graveyard. You could excavate a card. If it's a normal trap card, you can set it directly, and if it's not, you just go ahead and send it to the graveyard. A card set by this effect can be activated during the turn it is set, so that's kind of cool. A little bit of utility over there. Plus, it's a level 1, and it's a Dark Fiend. And then, also in addition to that, is that if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can look at the top 3 cards of your deck, then place them in any order. And I was like, oh, maybe you can tech this into the Sylvans, but I feel like Sylvans already have enough consistency. But hey, it's just, more cards for, maybe another archetype, or, just a splashable card and some random stuff. Next up, this card is called Hellfire, Boatwatcher, Ghost Charon. It's going to have its name in the TCG change. I forgot what it was, but anyways, that specific card, you can see its picture over here near the bottom. It's in the bottom right-hand corner. Second to the last card over here. But that's the card over here. This card's actually pretty cool. So it's a Dark Zombie Tuner, and it is level 2, and it says if your opponent controls a monster and control no other monsters, you get to target one fusion monster in your graveyard, banish both that target and this card. And if you do, special summon one Dragon-type Synchro monster from your extra deck whose level equals the total levels of the banished monsters. You can't special summon this turn, you activate this effect, except for Dragon-type monsters. You can only use this effect of him once per turn. So it's actually a pretty cool card, and actually brings out one of the cards that we'll talk about in just a moment. Next up, this card is actually really good. A lot of people are just running one copy of this and random stuff now. So it's called Cerberus, and it is a level 3 beast. It's got 1800 defense, 0 attack, and it says if you take damage from an attack or an opponent's card effect while this card is in your graveyard, you can banish this card, then target one card in the field, destroy it. That's pretty cool, because sometimes, you would rather just get rid of the monster rather than just getting attacked with, say, something like Necroguard. Now, it is an Earth instead of a Dark, so it has a little bit less utility than Lightsworn, but nonetheless, I've seen a lot of Lightsworn decks run this card. That's just one deck that I can think of off the top of my head, but it's still a decent card. It is a beast. There might be some other cards that you can use to support this, but I think this card's pretty cool. You just banish it. As long as you take some type of damage from a card effect or an attack, you get to get rid of anything. That's really cool. I like this card a lot. It definitely has a little bit of utility to it. Next up, we have Tristan, Knight of the Underworld. It is a level 4 zombie with 1800 attack, and when it is normal summoned, you can target one zombie type monster with 0 defense in your graveyard, add it to your hand. While you control another zombie type monster, this card gains 300 attack. So that's pretty cool. There's a combo with this card to basically go into rank 4s. It makes it relatively easy, but what deck doesn't already have that access? Next up, we have the Blackwing, Nothung, the Starlight. So it's a level 6, and it doesn't have to be just using Blackwings. There's a lot of crazy FTKs in the OCG that actually abuse this card. But anyways, it is a card that, if it is special summon, you get to inflict 800 damage to your opponent, which is already, you can know where the card's going. But then you can make one monster your opponent control lose 800 attack and defense, so extra utility to that. And then you can only use this effect once per turn. And then during your main phase, you can normal summon another Blackwing monster in addition to your normal summoner set. Is it me, or is Blackwings the only deck that just keeps on getting support and just Konami will never let them go, or the Black Feathers, whatever you prefer to call them? But nonetheless, I think Blackwings have had support come out for it more than anything in the entirety of the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! There are always new Blackwing cards coming out in the game. Next up, we have Dragositis, the Impure Underworld Dragon. This almost reminds reminds me of an upgraded Beals as far as the artwork goes. The card itself, I kind of like Beals better. But anyways, it is a card that has got 4,000 attack. It's a dragon level 10. It requires a Dark Tuner and 1 dragon type non-tuner monster. And it can't be destroyed by battle, although it can be destroyed by card effects. So again, I was like, this card is not even as good as Beals. But when it destroys an opponent's monster for battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can activate this effect. This card can make a second attack on an opponent's monster in a row. During each of your standby phases, you can target one monster your opponent controls, and its attack becomes half its current attack, and if it does, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the lost attack. Personally, for me, I feel like if you made this card, you're going to probably be going for games, so your opponent probably won't leave, a monster during your standby phase to, get that effect, but it's kind of cool just to have it. I think the artwork is kind of cool, and it looks like it's got like a face on its chest. Next up, we have a card called Parallel Twister, which I think has a little bit of utility, but then I realized, oh man, not even quick play. But anyways, it has the effect that you can just send one other spell or trap card you control to the graveyard, then target one card in the field and destroy it. And some cards, they can actually get effects, so this might have a little bit of bonus utility. Again, if it was quick play, this card would be extra sexy, but unfortunately, it does not. Next up, we have number 14, Greedy Samaria over here, and it is a generic rank 5, and it only requires 2 of them. And your opponent takes any effect damage you would have taken from their card effects instead. And then when this card destroys an opponent's monster in battle and sends it to the graveyard, you attach one material from this card, destroy all monsters on the field with attack equal to or less than the destroyed monster's original attack in the graveyard. But I feel like that's kind of irrelevant in the game. If you really want to just get a lot of free extra damage, and I'd rather go Volcasaurus, pop something, deal some damage, than go into Gaia Charge or run over or something. That's personally better in my opinion, but nonetheless, it's got kind of cool artwork. And again, some people just collect the numbers. So there you go, another number card to add to your collection. And another one over here, number 21, Frozen Lady Justice. It requires 2 level 6 monsters, and it's got 500 attack and 500 defense. And you can also XYZ summon this by detaching one material from a rank 5 XYZ monster you control and using that XYZ monster as material. XYZ materials attached to that monster also come to this card, and it gains 1,000 attack for each material attached to it. And unfortunately no defense. And then once per turn you can attach one material from this card to destroy all defensive monsters your opponent controls. And I felt like, well, I mean, if you're on the defensive side anyways, and pretty much no deck to my knowledge is really interested in just setting a bunch of monsters in defense mode, maybe Yang Zings, maybe sometimes Burning Abyss after you Darkhold and they're just gonna try to defense up. But overall, I just don't think this card is that great, but maybe someone knows a combo with it that I just don't know of. But let me know, guys, what card are you most excited about that we just went ahead and just talked about, whether it's, the Crush card and stuff. I think a lot of players are really interested in just seeing that Crush card get its reprint, but and we got that reprint of Alias. Well, if we see Stratos in here for the TCG, I can't wait. I would laugh so hard to reprint Stratos and still keep it banned. But anyways, that's a topic we actually got to talk about relatively soon. But that's pretty cool. We're getting Sylvans, we're getting a lot of different plant stuff now that we know about that. Interesting to see Graph randomly get reprinted. Like, are we going to get more Dark World support? Because sometimes, guys, just because a card gets reprinted doesn't mean that, it's just getting a reprint just for, the randomness of having it reprint. Yeah, sometimes, yes, that does happen. But sometimes they're giving us a hint to, something maybe coming out in the future. Maybe Dark Worlds can be splashable into other things. It's just kind of cool to see, potentially what will come out in the game. So leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Asian Eyes signing out.